So the general theme when I was growing up and coming of age for both men and women, it was we, my peers and I, a lot of us would feel this pressure from the generation above us, our parents, to have babies. And I noticed a lot of women saying this, like, oh, they're just pressuring me to have babies. And always asking if they're in a relationship. For me as a man, people would ask me, like, do you have a girlfriend yet? And I went through that at like the Thanksgiving dinner and like the family dinners and stuff. And I just had a thought that people describe that as like people trying to shame them into having kids, because a big concept for modern, I'm just going to say for modern women, is to work on yourself first and take complete control and only have kids when you want to have kids. Even though we know there's kind of a pretty short window when you can have kids. I mean, it's up to about 35 is when it's still safe to have kids. And you don't really have much time beyond that, despite the fact that there are exceptions, like people do. But I was thinking, like, are the older generation trying to shame us, or trying to shame my generation, or trying to shame people? Or do they just think it's normal and they're wondering why not? Like, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you passed on the genes? Why haven't you created grandkids for us? And it makes sense, because I went through that whole phase when I was in my early to mid 20s where I had to like unwind from that thinking of like, oh man, they're just trying to like shame me for being single. I just want to go at my own pace. But now I'm thinking, like, are they trying to shame you? Like, just by asking, like, hey, why don't you have a boyfriend or girlfriend yet, if you're a man or a woman? And if them asking you that brings up shame, because it's not like they're like, oh man, you're single. I mean, in that case, maybe they are trying to shame you or guilt you into having kids. Like, oh, you don't have kids yet. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? But most parents don't do that. Most people don't do that. Most people are just like, hey, you got a boyfriend yet or a girlfriend yet? Why not? You got a partner? When are you having kids? Just open questions. Why does shame come up in us, or why did shame come up in us going through our 20s? Maybe it's because we were being kind of selfish and we felt shameful about it, or we felt kind of guilty that each generation before us had passed down genes to the next generation. And now what are we doing? Just slacking in the name of like, I want to do what I want to do with my life. And if I were to have kids, would it distract me from that? I don't think you should ever blame your kids for doing, I don't think you should blame anybody for you not doing what you want to do in life if you have options. If I don't know, let's say you're tired, you work 8 hours and then you spend time with your family and then you'll have like an hour left. If you're not using that hour, that's your problem. If you're not doing something throughout the day, or if you're not cutting your hours at work and living more humbly to do something that you want to do, that's your fault, isn't it? Anyway, this is just a little bit of a rant, or a little bit of a philosophical question as I get a little bit older in life and kind of realize certain things and take accountability for my circumstances. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you're related.